from your experience, does it happening that you are applying for various different positions but you are not even getting the interview call and wondering what is going wrong? I mean, I feel that by seeing the job description in any of the job portal, I feel that this is the job. This is the position which perhaps other than me, it's very difficult to find a better candidate than me. Sure shot, 100% I will get a call. 100%. But no, nobody called me. Now, if my CV is not interesting, if it doesn't have all the required information in the first glance, basically, in that case, do we really feel that the recruiter or hiring manager has all the time to literally search in the CV and find out whether somewhere this particular statement skill is mentioned or not? Nobody cares, right? So as a result of that, what happens? Most likely, I would have been the best candidate for this particular job, but I will not get the offer. I mean, forget about offer letter. I will not get the interview call itself because my candidature will not move forward. My CV gets rejected at the very first level because required information has not been found. So whenever we look at a CV, uh, not always though, but most of the time, what we see at the top, name. After that, email ID, phone number. Many of cases after that, LinkedIn ID. Many people give their complete postal address also there itself. Now, I really don't know why postal address should come at the top of the CV. I mean, postal address will be required only when this profile has been selected and we are sending the offer letter, hard copy document. Then only postal address is required. Till then postal address is not required. Now, as a result of that, after that, some summary, uh, job summary or profile summary or objective, career objective, something. Now, there what we write? We write a very nice English story. Now, do we think that the recruiter or the hiring manager who is looking at our CV is a fool? They don't understand the English language and the actual achievement. Now, if I don't put the actual achievement, what happens is they're not interested. I mean, they see those kind of CVs, hundreds or might be thousands, right? So they are not interested. But if I can write, if I have something quantifiable thing, if I say, right, I have done, say for example, someone who like me who have done the finance or budget management. I have handled in my previous role or last role or the current role, I have handled this type of budget worth X million dollar and with a utilization, year on year utilization of X, Y percentage. For a HR guy or even a project manager, my team's engagement score consistently was 97% or above or 96% or above. My team's attrition level was say 3%, 4%, 5%. Now that this kind of statement makes a lot of difference because automatically if I am applying that kind of role, automatically the hiring manager will say, oh wow, this fellow's engagement score was very high. Attrition is very less. Means at least he is a good people manager or might be a good leader. So from that aspect, definitely. So I crossed one barrier. Big mistake we do, we immediately after that we give our experience. Now in the experience, we write the company name, the last company from so and so date till now or with a hyphen or still working, something like that, and the position held or position being managed, and then a long story what all things I have done in that. Now we understand that when a person have 10 plus years of experience or even more, 15, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years of experience, they have a lot of things to tell. They have achieved a lot of things, agreed, 100% agreed. In the experience section, what we should do is last 3 organizations experience should be in page 1. So organization name, to, from, designation, all those things are fine. After that, maximum 3 bullet points which talks about 3 most significant achievement or the areas I have managed or the areas or what I have done for which I was known for or I am known for. That is my expertise. That's what I want to portray. Look, this is what I am. This is what Amit Ganguly is. This is what Umesh is, right? So those 3 points, and again, whichever way is possible, quantify. Places where we can put some numbers, put some facts, rather than nice, very beautiful English. What else? Still 2 very important things are missing. Skills. So that's why I became a big fan of Canva, because what happens is in Canva, most of the CVs, though we can do it in Word also, it's not that we can't do it in Word, we can make it multiple columns. So in the left hand side column, what we can do is we can put our skills, say for example, address, this, that, skills, all these things in the left side column. Which now advantage, the right side or the main section is for my experience, all these things. Left side talks about my skills and all these things. So all the required most important information are there in page 1. And the look is little different, refreshing. So 2-3 things will happen. Once the CV reaches to the recruiter or the hiring manager's mailbox, that person first, by opening the file, opening the CV, different look, oh, this looks different, let me read. So first level of inquisitiveness got created. Second, we got all the required relevant information in the very first page, if possible first section of the first page itself. As a result of that, the hiring manager got an idea who Amit Ganguly is, what all things he has done, and in what all areas he is good at. Now this will help him or her to take a decision that the role for which I am considering Amit Ganguly, can he fit into this role or not? If yes, so far so good, in that case, I will automatically see the remaining part of the CV, second page, third page, and whatever the detailed experiences that we have, the other accomplishment other than the most significant one, which we can always put in the appendix, page 2, page 3. As a candidate, what have I achieved because of that? I kind of compelled the recruiter or the hiring manager to go through the entire CV from the beginning till the end, right? Second problem, many of the organization, including the job search portal like LinkedIn or Monster or Naukri, everybody, they have their inbuilt system, and many big organizations have their own system, something called, which is called ATS, application tracking system. Whichever CV comes, it has to pass through the ATS. What does ATS do? In the ATS, when you are configuring the system for a particular opening, in the JD we mentioned the skills or the keywords. So those keywords are fed into the ATS system, that I am looking for XYZ skills. And also I will tell that I want 80% match, 90% match, something like that. When we desperately search for job, we make a CV, one CV, which is for a particular role. Say for example, project manager. Say for example, I am applying for project manager role or a PMO role or maybe a test lead role, right? Any of those roles, or HR, whatever, HR manager role. Now there will be different company have put different job posting. Do we expect that all the job posting have exactly the same keywords mentioned in their JD? No, it will not be 100%. Now, if I have only one CV, what happens? Whichever cases the keywords, whatever has been mentioned in the JD and my keyword gets matched, I am lucky, ATS will select my CV. If it doesn't match, if it is written in some other way, I have all those required experience. It's not that I don't have experience. I have those experience. I have all the skills, everything. But I have not written those things the way it is mentioned in the job description. As a result of that, ATS system will reject my CV. I read it in McKinsey's study, one of the study by McKinsey. I have read the exactly same thing, another study made by Forbes. What they say is, in Indian scenario, not global scenario, in Indian scenario, whatever the job vacancies are created, 10, 15, max to max 20% of the job goes to the online job portal. Rest doesn't go, doesn't appear. Now, what happens to those jobs? In a big organization, if they have a bench, the moment a vacancy gets created, where people, the recruiter, internal recruiter, where do they search? They search in the bench. Do I have someone sitting on the bench with the same matching skill set? If yes, take that guy. So in such cases, definitely as an outsider, I don't have any scope for that, right? Second, if it is not available in the bench, do they directly publish it in the job portal? No. Unless it's a very urgent requirement, what do is they go for an internal referral. Most of the organization, they ask for their existing employees, can you please refer your friend, family, and all these things. So that also doesn't go to the job market. If that also doesn't work out, then they go to the talent acquisition team, and most of the organization have talent acquisition partners. There also it has not gone out for the recruitment portal. If nothing works out, so after all these avenues are get closed, then only the job is published in Naukri, LinkedIn, all these places, portals. And we apply most of the time only those jobs and feel very happy, oh, so many jobs I have applied. But what we miss out, that there are many more vacancies which perhaps I could have tried my luck.